I am Caroline Hollister. Welcome to the Park Theater. This is the Park Theater, built in 1922. It's been dark for 35 years and is ready to be restored and renovated. There are a group of citizens supported by all the communities around the Monadnock region who are doing just that.
Obviously, I would come to the store first and fill up with the penny candy or the popcorn and go through the back door into the movie lobby. Sometimes I was allowed to bring a friend, but usually it was my sister and I. And we would go in and sit in the theater, and of course back then I was watching the Hopalong Cassidy movies and Gene Autry, Roy Rogers, the cartoons, the news of the day, the newsreels first, which we wanted to get through so we could see the cartoons in the feature. My father used to go up and down the aisles with the flashlight, making sure nobody had their feet on the backs of the chairs and nobody was throwing any popcorn. And of course, you know, having your father going up and down the aisles, you had to behave yourself.
And he actually took the house, it was the old Durant house, and he took the house and raised it and built the theater underneath, and it was part of a barn. And he showed the projected the movies out into the wall in his barn. I can just imagine how this must have become a community gathering place at that time. And gradually, as the years went by, of course, he added on and made it better until it just flourished.
Some of my earlier memories of this theater, like Lynn and some of the other people that have been here before, I can remember coming here on Saturdays to do the shows, to see the shows. And the one movie that I remember the most was Sinbad the Sailor, The Adventures of Sinbad the Sailor.
And there was always so many kids in the theater, and it was always noisy, and everyone was having just a good time. But a little messy too. There were a lot of candy boxes and popcorn all over the place. But there was kind of an interesting story about the popcorn too. They used to sell originally the popcorn in the cardboard boxes, you know, about this tall. And of course, when the kids would eat the popcorn, and they'd flatten the boxes and then just use them as frisbees. And so they'd flying popcorn boxes all over the place. And I'm sure that my father and my grandfather didn't care for that too much, so they decided that they would switch and they would sell the popcorn in white paper bags. So they switched the bags, and of course, then the kids thought of, well, we still can do something with these bags. So they would eat the popcorn, they would take the bags and blow into the bags and pop them. So there'd be popping bags all over the place.
I had a transformational experience in this theater in 1952. And that's when I was a counselor at Camp Monadnock on Thorndike Pond. And after we put the kids to bed, we would go out and go to the movies. And the movie we saw on that memorable night was the great ape film, King Kong. And it just made a huge impression on me. And I've never forgotten it. The original film came out in 1933, the year before I was born. It was re-released in 1942. My mother wouldn't let me see it because she thought it would give me nightmares. So finally I got to see it, and it was just a great experience.
What they would do is take the bags, and before they filled them with popcorn, they would take a one-hole punch and punch a little hole in the bottom of the bag so that the kids wouldn't be able to pop the popcorn bags anymore. So that's a story that I've heard. I think it was my Aunt Lena, that was one of her jobs, is to put those popcorn, take those popcorn bags and put a hole in all the bags. That didn't, I mean, still, all the kids always seem to have a good time.
So I have a lot of memories, but then again, when I was 10, he passed away, and then after that I came to the theater to watch movies with my friends, but there were no more free tickets.
And my father sold the theater. I still remember going as I grew up in Jaffrey and in elementary school and middle school and right into high school. It was always something that provided entertainment for the kids in Jaffrey, for the people of Jaffrey, and it was still a gathering place just up until in 1976 when it finally closed its doors. So.
Very sad when the movie theater closed. It was a gathering place, it was a community center. I can remember they also had, the VFW used to do a Christmas show every year. And we showed It's a Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart. And the kids would all get free, come in for free. And they had ice cream, they got an ice cream bar, a candy bar, and a bag of popcorn. And I can remember passing it out to the kids when I was working here as projectionist. We'd pass it all out and to get the kids and get them sat down before the show started. And then we'd go up and show the movie, It's a Wonderful Life.
I used to help my father sometimes go up into the projection room. So I remember going down, up the very steep stairs into the projection room, helping, had to always make sure to make sure that the film was changed at the right time. There was a projectionist up there, so my father didn't have to run it, but I do remember lots of times going up there with him, which was a very small room with the big projection machines.
There are a lot of things I like to remember about Romolo. And one thing is that he gave me a job when I needed one. And that really came in, I really felt good about it. And I remember the time when they had movies on a Sunday. And the movies they had on Sunday were two shows. One at 7 and the other one was at 9 o'clock. And both of those shows were also always packed full. Every time they had a movie, I made sure that theater was clean. For the first and second show, especially on Sundays.
My grandfather and my father were always there working with the white aprons on. My grandfather always had a cigar in his mouth, never always lit, but it was there.
He was a very, very fine gentleman. And he's always treated me good. And I really appreciated that. And like I said, he was very good to me. And if I could do it again, I would.
Memories are just all good things. We came here every Saturday. The Park Theater was always the place to gather in Jaffrey. Every Saturday, the kids from KK, from Jaffrey Center, from Squantum, from Jaffrey would always gather here. And as mentioned earlier, the line was long. There were a lot of kids here. I've always said that I was lucky enough at my age to grow up in Jaffrey, and I grew up in Camelot. This was a nice town to be a kid. And if I'm correct in that, then the Park Theater was King Arthur's Court. This is where we all met. This is where it all started for all of us on those days. Good memories, nice place to be.